What's up guys, I'm Roderick aka Rodman and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be ranking every boss in Chrono Trigger on level of difficulty. You guys really liked that Earthbound video. It got like, at this point I think 1,000 views, which is absolutely insane. You guys crushed it on that video, man. So if you like content like this, you like my videos, consider dropping a subscription. It helps with the algorithm and stuff, of course. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So I took some time and I tried to order the bosses in order of when they appear in game. I actually did beat Chrono Trigger again recently, so I figured this is a great time to make a video like this. Chrono Trigger is, of course, top 10 greatest RPG of all time, top 5 greatest Super Nintendo game ever, arguably number 1. If you haven't played Chrono Trigger, get on it, bro. It's very cheap. It's like $5 on Steam. Get it. So first things first, we have Yakra, or however you say his name, first boss of the game. And you know, this game is a little bit difficult to do because every single one of these bosses, except for a few of them, can give you a lot of trouble. It's not like Earthbound, where there's bosses where it's kind of gimmicky and it's very easy. There's bosses in this game, like the first boss, I'm gonna have to put him in D tier at least, because he has AoE attacks, he counter attacks. Like, this is the first boss of the game. He's doing all of this stuff. At that point, you don't have like a lot of healing items. You know, you have your default weapons and stuff. So yeah, this guy is he's not very difficult, but I think every time I play Chrono Trigger, I died to this guy at least once. Maybe I'm just trash, but yeah, this guy is slightly difficult for a first boss, honestly. So we have the dragon head thingabobber. This guy was not hard at all. I forget the order that you have to destroy him because he is separated into 3 parts. Like one of the, I think the head like restores the rest of the body, so you have to destroy like the wheels, the body, and then like the head automatically destroys itself, something like that. Very cool boss, but honestly, actually, I'm gonna move him down. He's one of the easiest bosses in the game. Alright, so we move on to the Guardian bit in the future. The Guardian bit actually, I think at this point of the game, this is actually the first boss that has multiple like parts to him. Not like phases, but like it's the Guardian bit, and he has like 2 other things with him that like do a lot of stuff. Like they heal, they do like attacks that like cut your HP in half, stuff like that. And I don't know, he's definitely Yakra level though as far as difficulty. He actually might go down, I don't know. I think he could yeah, I think he stays here. Or I might end up moving Yakra down. We'll see though. We'll see. But Guardian bit definitely is like an average boss like level. Like, you can definitely dodge to this guy. Sir Crawley is like very mediocre. Actually, now that I think about it, besides like this guy, I think Sir Crawley might be like the easiest boss in the game. Like, he poses little to no threat. He's like a, I don't know, man. This guy's very easy. Dude, don't get me started on freaking Hekron, dude. Or actually, this guy's first. Or the robots. The robots are actually kind of difficult. The robots are actually kind of difficult, and I'm going to tell you why. Because since they beat up Robo and threw him down the garbage chute, and by the way, this video will contain spoilers, but They beat up Robo, threw him down the garbage chute, so you're left with 2 party members, and you had to fight like 8 Robo level enemies. So I'm gonna have to put this guy A tier. I'm gonna have to put that guy A tier for sure. And then they all attack at once. So if your HP is like half, you're dead. You have to make sure your HP is very high at all times in that fight. Hecron, I'm gonna put this guy S tier, bro. I think I played Chrono Trigger recently, and I love Chrono Trigger. Like, I love it. And I died to this guy like 3 or 4 times. I was just thinking about like, should I even like keep playing, bro? Cause like, or am I under leveled? And the cool thing about Chrono Trigger is you don't have to grind. You don't ever have to grind a Chrono Trigger. There's so many combinations of like characters and text and stuff that you don't ever need to actually grind in this game, which is very good for an RPG, because there's a lot of RPGs obviously where you have to spend hours grinding. Excuse me. But yeah, Hecron, I believe he is only, I forget if it's him or Nizbel that, hold on, let me look it up right quick. Hecron. Yeah, he counterattacks like everything you do. He takes no physical damage. Everything that you do to him is going to be through magic. But he counters magic with like water too at that point, which is very strong. It's going to do like 200 damage to the whole party. So pretty much you're going to be spamming Frog. You're going to be spamming Marl. This guy's just a threat, bro. This long story short, he counterattacks. He's a threat, bro. Ozzy, not a threat, of course. Now that I think about it even more, Ozzy is definitely easier than Sir Crawley because you don't really fight Ozzy though. You like fight like these little monsters. You might hit Ozzy like once. But moving on to Zombor. Zombor, he definitely goes in C tier. He's a very, very, very cool looking boss. Very interesting boss. But I don't think anybody should ever have problems going against Zombor. He's pretty much like, he's like Dragon Tank but harder. But not by very much, honestly. Because you have to defeat, I forget if you have to defeat the upper part of his body or the lower part of his body, but you do have to defeat one before you defeat the other. I'm pretty sure you have to defeat the upper body first, but very cool boss fight, but not very difficult though. Masamune, this guy goes A tier for sure because this is the first. No, I'm trying to think. This is the first boss fight at this point that's had multiple phases. So you go against the two little I don't want to call them monsters, but you go against the 2 little dudes, and that right in itself is a boss fight. And it's not challenging, but you might definitely find yourself struggling, and then all of a sudden they fuse and they transform into this guy who was way harder. He counterattacks. Let me just make sure I am getting the information correct. He literally has 3,600 health at this point of the game. Like, that is completely not absurd, but it's a lot, dude. And I died to this guy. I probably died to this guy like once a playthrough. Because I usually forget how hard this guy can actually be. Because I don't want to say he's a forgettable boss. But in the grand scheme of things, I tend to forget him. But do not sleep on this guy. Do not sleep on this guy. He's very difficult. Nizbel also goes S tier. Because I'm going to tell you why this guys go S tier. At this point of the game, and like at this point in the game, like you start to get bosses who are like purely unique. Like a lot of the bosses beforehand are just like super strong enemies who have special attacks and sometimes like counterattack. But Nisbel, the thing about her is she's only weak to electric attacks, but it's almost like the boss fight from Mother 3 where you're fighting the electric guy. He's like weak to electric attacks, but over time he stores up the electricity, and then at a certain point he discharges it all, and it'll pretty much one shot your whole team. But Nisbel is a threat, and Nisbel 2 is way easier than Nisbel 1 the first time you fight Nisbel. But yeah, I actually really do like that boss fight, because you have to start thinking like, okay, like it's not me spamming all my strongest abilities and healing when I need to. I actually have to think like, whoa, he's gonna use his discharge on me. That sounded really weird, but okay, we got Slasher. Slasher can go B tier. I'm gonna tell you why Slasher goes B tier. And I'm gonna tell you why Flea. I'm gonna do 2 in 1. Slasher goes B tier, but Flea goes A tier. So Slasher doesn't have any status effects. He's just a super fast guy. He does a lot of damage, but I'm pretty sure most of his abilities are single target. So let me just make sure again. There are 2 phases of his fight though, which the second phase actually, the first phase is just fodder. He's just like a normal enemy, but the second phase is actually kind of difficult. He's very fast. So if you have your, actually now that I think about it, I actually do think I had to put my game on wait mode, because he was just too fast. He was attacking like every 2 seconds. But in the grand scheme of things, he's not very difficult. But Flea, on the other hand, is very difficult, because she's not S tier level difficult, but she's difficult because she confuses the whole party. She poisons you. She confuses you. Like, all your dudes are hitting each other, using elixirs for no reason. Yeah, she's very difficult. And now that I think about it, Flea is not a girl. She's a boy. So he is very difficult. Yeah, it looks like a girl, but yeah, it's one of those things. Magus, one of the hardest bosses in the game. Just straight up. I remember the first time I played Chrono Trigger, I was wondering if I should even keep playing the game. I just couldn't beat this guy. I couldn't. So the aspect of his fight is it's similar to Golbez in Final Fantasy IV. If any of y'all know what that boss fight is, once again, that boss fight was extremely difficult, because it's one of those bosses where he's only weak to one element, but he changes what he's weak to. And if you mess up, he uses like a super strong version of the spell that you use. So at this point, he's hitting you for like 300 plus damage. And he's super fast. He's attacking you with physical attacks. And that's not even his ultimate ability. He's using like, once you get later on when he's about to die, he starts spamming like his black hole attack, that does like 300-400 damage to the whole party. And it's very, very intense, very cool boss fight. All my homies love Magus, super dope character, but honestly, I think he might be top 3 hardest bosses in the game. I always dread having to fight him. Azayla, however you pronounce her name, she definitely goes C tier. Honestly, the only reason she doesn't go down here is because she just straight up, she's stronger than these guys, but she's not like as strong as these guys, you know. But the Black Tyranno, he can go B tier. Now, if it was the Rust Tyranno is definitely top 3 hardest bosses in the game. He infinitely stacks if you don't kill him in time. So you need fireproof armor to fight him, because he's gonna hit you for like 3, 4, 5, 7,000 damage, and there's nothing you can do about it. But the regular Black Chrono definitely goes B tier. He's one of those bosses that like counts down to like a big attack, but if you have the right armor on, which you should have, like ruby vest and stuff like that, he shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so I was trying to speed through these a little bit, because we do have like the optional bosses like in the DS version to get to. Golem, C tier. Twin Golem, very difficult though. Twin Golem would go at either A or S tier, but one Golem by himself, not very difficult. And the boss Golem is not very difficult as well. He will honestly probably go in the C tier as well. This guy, he's not really a boss, he's just a normal enemy, but he accompanies these guys, which I'm going to put in the B tier. The reason why I put him in the B tier is because it's like a fire and ice enemy, and it's pretty obvious, like use like fire sword or use whatever to do a bunch of damage. So you can wipe these guys out pretty easy. Honestly, I might come back to this guy. He might end up dropping down. But what's this guy named? Gaia Beast or something like that? Let me just make sure. Giga Gaia. Yeah, this guy's S tier. This guy's S tier. Let me just double check what he does. I know he has the main body and he has 2 arms that does a lot of stuff. He has no weaknesses, and his arms do attacks that cut your HP in half. And the big thing that's difficult and really disheartening when you're fighting this guy is if you let one of his hands survive too long and you kill the body, he revives the main body, which is the main boss. So you have to do it in a certain order. Like you have to have your timing pretty on T to where you're killing the hand, the 2 hands, and a boss like in around like a 5 turn like time span. Dalton's not hard. Dalton's not hard. I know there's like once King Dalton and stuff like that later on in the game, which is very, 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 very difficult. It's not on this tier list, but once King Dalton probably would go S tier, but regular Dalton, not a threat at all. Now I'm looking at the tier list, looking very good, but what's this guy's name, bro? I forget some of these guys' names. Yeah, Son of Sun. Optional boss, you don't even have to fight this guy. He's not a difficult boss at all. I honestly would put him D tier as far as strength, but as far as gimmicks, I would put A tier, because it's one of those bosses where you don't even know if you're doing damage to him. You're pretty much taking a guess on if you're going to hit him or not. I think it took me like 40 minutes to beat this guy because I didn't want to use Magus. It feels like I'm talking just so much, but there's a lot of information, man. But and now that I'm taking a little break from talking about the, if you're still watching the video, man, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Who your favorite Chrono Trigger boss is, and what 3 party members did you use in during your main game? I use Chrono, Frog, and Robo. If you're watching the video right now, comment the word Chrono Trigger in all caps. Let's go. Alright. Yeah, but Son of Sun is the main boss surrounded by a bunch of flames, and only one of the flames actually take damage. And if you hit the wrong one, you get counterattack, and the process repeats. So unless you want to bring Magus and you do non-elemental damage to all of them, which is the best option. If you do that, he is one of the easiest bosses in the game. But if you want to fight him normally, I guess, kind of hard, I guess. Mammoth Machine. You didn't even fight this thing. You kind of just stab the root or the Masamune or the ruby knife into it. But Queen Zeal though. Wait, do they have the normal one on here? No. But Queen Zeal herself, S tier level boss. You haven't noticed like a lot of bosses with like hands that do different things or multiple parts are usually very difficult because, for example, like Nisbel is hard, but just only one person. So imagine having to fight two other little like annoying things. Super annoying, man. Lavos. I don't know why they have this version of Lavos on here. I'm gonna treat this guy as, okay, technically the final boss, I guess. Lavos can go C tier. This version of Lavos can go C tier, but inner Lavos, because like this, spoiler, this isn't the real Lavos. You have to go inside Lavos after you defeat like this thing right here. You go inside, fight this guy. This guy probably is A tier level difficult, and I ain't gonna lie, the core of Lavos was actually very difficult. I thought it was pretty darn difficult. And this right here is the final boss, man. And we're moving on to the optional bosses now in the DS version only. I actually just like within the last few months played the DS version. It was the Steam version, but I liked it. You know, this guy fodder. He's just a regular monster. I'm just trying to make sure like I'm getting like my information correct. Like this guy, I know this guy, he has like all the new guys, because that's what he like, the monster he is the new in you. But these guys actually pose a threat because their defense is just so ridiculously high, and they counterattack with dark matter and all types of stuff. So this guy can go B tier for sure. But he's not really supposed to be like a super difficult boss or anything. I actually have no idea what this boss is. And it's not on the wiki. Oh! Oh, this guy? Oh, this guy is C tier, dude. This is, you fought this guy in Black Omen, I believe. In the Black Omen, like, airship. You have to fight him in the Black Omen. I think you fight him in Black Omen, bro. He's not really that big a threat, though. Nah, he can go B tier, though. He can go B tier. This dude. Actually, I'll do this because it comes before. This is like the mother programming thing for Robo. C tier. At that point, you know, you have like all your ultimate weapons. You know, Chrono's critting for like 2,000-3,000. I'm exaggerating, but Frog is critting. She's easy. Not easy, but like she's not very difficult. This guy right here, the Archeo, whatever it's called. What is his name? Yeah, Archeo Fang. There's like a red version and a blue version of him though. Let me see if I'm not tripping. Yeah. There's like a younger version of him who's slightly easier, and he would probably go like C tier, but this guy can go B tier. Because honestly, once you get to late game, you're gonna have to start using combos. Like you obviously you could ride out just like with all like your original party, but like at a certain point you're gonna have to start switching it up, or it's gonna become very difficult for you to beat. So right here, the last two guys we're going to talk about is the Master of Arms and the Bladesman. Master of Arms, A tier, but the Bladesman can go. This guy's pretty difficult actually. He actually might go up to S tier. That's actually very interesting. Nah, he doesn't go D tier. But this guy actually goes S tier. He has a lot of HP. He has like 20k health points. And he's very fast. He uses a lot of magic and physical attacks. So your armor has to be on point. And you have to have like a lot of ultimate stuff because, yeah, this dude's a threat. Just straight up. Like, he's very strong. But that is it for this tier list. Let's go ahead and check out what we have. Let's see if we're going to make any changes. Magus. So in S tier we have Magus, Hecron, Nisbel, Giga Giant, Queen Zeal, the Core of Lavos, and the Master of Arms. I'm not going to read off every boss, but I think that this tier list actually is on point. I actually might move Yakra down to C tier. Nah, I'm going to leave him B tier, man. He has a lot of AoE and stuff. Nah, I think this is where I'm going to leave my tier list. But that is going to be it for this video, man. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man. We're on the road to 100 subs. The last video I said I wanted to hit 100 subs, I was at like 80 something. Now we're at 90 something. So we are definitely growing. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And without further ado, Rodman out. Peace.